I had never experienced that level of isolation.
Yeah. I mean, I even experienced it a little bit, what was it, last year, where I didn't have a roommate. I was living by myself. I literally would call or text all of my friends and be like, hey, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yep. Until someone was like, oh, yeah, we can hang out. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go do this.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're out there and you're feeling lonely right now or you felt lonely before, know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And that as humans, it is normal and natural for us to crave human connection and intimacy. It is actually a huge, huge part of mental health. Mm-hmm. And so if you're feeling that way, just remember there's nothing wrong with you. Loneliness hits all of us in different waves at different times in life. And it's important for us to remember that this is a universal experience, especially since the pandemic, and to kind of, you know, think of ways that we can remedy this. So thankfully, right now, we don't have as many restrictions.
Yes.
So we really should be taking advantage of that like never before.
Yeah. You got to get out there. You got to go out and do stuff. You got to figure out what it is that you like, what you like to do. If you're a sports person, go to sports functions. If you like art, go to art galleries. You're going to run into people and make new friends by just going out and doing things in your circle of hobbies or likes.
Yes, and this is why it's so important to highlight the idea of discovering hobbies that you like. Because if you find hobbies that you enjoy, you are going to run into like-minded people who enjoy the same things, and like-minded people are typically going to be like your best chance of really finding a true connection with somebody. Because
whether friendship or relationship, romantic, or you know, just a new person to connect with and talk to and be like, oh my goodness, did you hear about that book or that movie or that sports game? And if you're watching the same stuff, then yeah, they're probably going to know what you're talking about.
Yep. And so something that's been really fun is Desiree has always been into line dancing.
Yes.
She loves to go line dancing. And actually just recently, which is crazy because I've been going to the line dancing bars with Desiree for the longest time, but I never really got into actually learning the dances. I was there socializing, talking to people, and just recently I decided, hey, you know, I really want to like learn these dances. Desiree always looks like she's having so much fun, and I do love dancing, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which I'm working on because being a perfectionist is not necessarily good for your mental health because it can lead to you putting too much pressure on yourself.
And it slows down the progress. Don't be afraid to get out there and try something new and looking a little silly. We all do it at all stages of our life, whether you're young or old. Like, you're going to get out there, you got to try, and really probably no one's going to notice if you do something silly. Yep. And if you do, then it's something to laugh about. In the moment, you might be a little embarrassed, but later you'll be like, oh my goodness, I have to tell you this story.
And even if it's, you know, like for example, even if you're not a dancer and you get out there and you just try to do a dance, if you've never done it before, you're probably going to mess up. Every time I try to learn a new dance, I mess up because I don't know the dance. But after you go out there and you try and you get a little better each time, you feel a real sense of accomplishment. And you just feel like proud of yourself that you actually stepped out of your comfort zone and tried something new. So as of recent, Desiree and I have been doing a lot of line dancing together.
Yes, teaching you dance after dance. The best one yet is Shivers by Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, we love Shivers by Ed Sheeran. Ed's the best. He's one of my all-time favorite songwriters. So
yeah, I got to see him perform at the football game when the Bucks opened, which our Bucks are the championships from Tampa. Let's go. Was it the Super Bowl or the opening game in Tampa? And he was performing at a park, and I was walking on Tampa Riverwalk, and I was like, oh my goodness, is that Ed Sheeran singing?
Oh my
and
gosh.
I literally got to watch him and everyone else that was on the Riverwalk got to watch him like rehearse. Like, he was singing, practicing the guitar. They were making sure all the videos and everything were working. And the next day, I actually got to go to the NFL opening game for the
Wow.
Bucks, and that was really cool. So if anybody was watching it, I was like right there, like next to the stage. It was really cool.
Oh my goodness, I'm jealous. Well, we love the Bucks, but we are in Las Vegas, so I have to say, go Raiders.
Hey, Tom Brady all the way. Let's go Buccaneers, Tampa.
Yes. So, yeah, guys. So the importance of, finding out what your hobbies are, finding out what your passions are, and finding a community of people that you can connect with is so important. I want to share a little story. Our grandma, she lives in Las Vegas, and she was saying during the pandemic in particular, because she also, moved to a new state, that she was feeling really lonely. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we encouraged her to do was to go to the senior center. Mm-hmm. And at first, she was a little hesitant. I mean, it genuinely can be a little scary to go by yourself to like a new book club or
step out of your comfort zone.
To step out of your comfort zone, a new church or whatever it is, and be like, hey, here I am. It can be a little intimidating sometimes.
My favorite thing to do when I'm in a new place, I always be like, hey, is anyone sitting here? And they're like, oh, no, you can sit there. And then it just kind of opens it up. And, like, you get to, like, be like, oh, hi, what's your name,
Yep. And so our grandma, after some time, she finally agreed to go to the senior center. And I can tell you right now, I have never seen her happier in my whole life. She has made so many friends there, so many like-minded retired people who are looking to do fun things together. I mean, she even, started dating a little bit. Dating at the senior center. And, I've never seen her happier. So that is a true testament to how sometimes, just stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit and getting out there, making new friends, is so important to your mental health and can result in happiness that you hadn't experienced before.
Yeah. And remember, meeting new people doesn't mean they're lifelong friends, but they are acquaintances, people that you have memories with. Like, I made friends during the pandemic, and it was a brief encounter. It was, one night out, hanging out at the sports bar or wherever, and, I hung out with them a few times, but now I'm here in Vegas with Destiny, and I'm no longer in Tampa, but those people I'm still connected with. So, that's something to keep in mind, that it may not be forever, but it will be something that you can hold on to.
Yes, and enjoying the moment. Mm-hmm. And to add to that, even though having deep emotional conversations with people is a huge part of feeling connected. Mm-hmm. I, for one, I know not everybody feels this way. Some people need deep emotional conversation to feel fulfilled in that human connection part of their life. But I, for one, I don't know if anybody is out there like me, but I love to people watch. Sometimes when Des and I go out, I can just literally post up and just watching everybody, looking at people's outfits, body language, hairstyles. I love to just people watch, and sometimes just going out and being around people and realizing oh, hey, I'm not what's that cartoon, that Disney animation where...
Oh,
Wall-E, yeah. You go out and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not Wall-E. I'm not the only person on planet Earth. There's all of us out here. We're all looking for human connection. We're all, just trying to be the best versions of ourselves. And there's something extremely comforting about that.